Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
One of our own Oklahomans is being sworn in right now. And I like to watch things with my friends, whether we agree, disagree, make jokes, or whatever. So let's get to it. Ooh, I'm on pins and needles.
It's been a long time. Must be something big happening, huh? You all set? Well, thank you very much. It's a great day for me because I have a lot of confidence in this gentleman. And we're thrilled to swear in our new Secretary of Homeland Security, a great American patriot, to put it mildly, Markwayne Mullin. And I want to just say, Markwayne, congratulations. You deserve it. You're a great man. Let me also thank Secretary Mullin's beautiful family, including his wife, Christy. Thank you. His sons, Jim and Jace and Andrew, and daughters, Lara, Ivy, Lynette, and other members of the Mullin family. It's a beautiful family. You know this guy, he's our big top wrestling guy. I won't wrestle him for anything. An all-American wrestler, huh? Good, we have good genetics in that family. Proud of you. Thanks as well to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Chairman Jason Smith, Congressman Josh Gottheimer, former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy, and many other friends that are gathered with us. It's a great group of people. For 13 years, Markwayne has represented the incredible state of Oklahoma, a state that I won 77 out of 77 counties 3 times in a row. So they like me there. Second was Ronald Reagan at 56. Did you know that? 56. It's not bad. But 77, it's 77 out of 77, I think, right? That's not bad. But he was there in Congress as a member of the House and then as an outstanding United States Senator. And he really has been outstanding. He's been a close and vital partner in helping us secure the border, stop migrant crime, end the scourge of illegal drugs, and make America safe again and make America great again. And he's a tremendous player. He worked with Tom Homan, worked with all of our people on the right, and many more. And everything he's done has been good. I say everything he touched, he's turned to gold. Now, but even in business, he was successful, in all fairness. And he was successful. And he said, I want to go into politics. I hope you're happy. But as the only Native American, I didn't know that, huh? Let me look at you. Well, I think that's all right. He's got great quality, I can tell you. It's the only Native American in the Senate. How many have been there before you? Do you know? Native American? I think 3. Well, you're a fantastic representative. Markwayne has also been a fantastic advocate for our cherished tribal communities. He's now the first member of the Cherokee Nation ever to serve as a member of the cabinet. I didn't know all these things. I would have picked him faster if I had known. I would have made a quicker decision. Prior to his career in public service, Mark Wayne had a very successful career in business, leaving school at age 20 after his father got sick, taking over his family business and turning it into a multi-million-dollar success story. He's a very successful guy. Mark Wayne is also a career as an MMA fighter. That's why I looked at his ears and I said, I'm not going to fight with him. You can tell a lot about a person by their ears, right? During which he went totally undefeated. He was undefeated during his career, and he's been inducted into the Oklahoma Wrestling Hall of Fame. And the family is made of fantastic wrestlers, especially that guy right there. That's my favorite guy, huh? And suffered bad injury and come back stronger than ever, I think. So good to have you, man, right? I have no doubt that as he takes the helm of DHS, Mark Wayne will fight for Homeland Security, the United States, and securing the country and making it really strong and the way it should be. Our country's come a long way in the last year. We set it up so beautifully, and then we had 4 years of horror. We had 4 years of disgusting horror, open borders, and things that nobody would even think of. You wouldn't even think of. 25 million people poured into our country, and we've gotten a lot of them out, but we have a lot more to go. 11,888 murderers came into our country. People came in from all over the world, from prison.
I'm so glad that everyone piled in here, all four of you, to see our senator getting sworn in to the cabinet. Look at Pat Kay. She said, go Okie. Exactly. Exactly. Very big day for our state.
And gangs, gang members, drug dealers, people from mental institutions, insane asylums. That's the mental institution times 2. And what they allowed to happen to our country can never be allowed to happen again, and it won't. With Mark Wayne, we have somebody that's strong, professional, and fair. As you know, the department that Mark Wayne takes over today is currently shut down by radical left Democrat thugs in Congress who have blocked all funding for DHS because they're trying to shield illegal alien criminals, gang members. They want to protect them from being taken out of the country, drug dealers, murderers. They're protecting them all. I don't know how people can vote for these people. You know, I see the midterms are close. I don't know what close means, but I don't know how people can vote for them. You take a look, men, they want men to be able to play in women's sports. They want transgender for everybody. Terrible, but that's the way it is. They don't want to give voter ID. They don't want voter ID for elections. They don't want proof of.
Pat has an opinion. Pat, do you want to grab the link? Ooh, Pat said send them all back. Do it right or stay home. Oh my goodness, Pat. Never seen you so heated.
Citizenship for elections, and then they get to vote. They do cheat, but I don't know. It's hard to believe they can cheat that much. Just in the past few days, we've seen the horrifying consequences of Democrats' deadly open border extremism. They want open borders, and they want to open the borders again if they have their chance, because they think they're going to get votes by doing that. On Thursday, a precious 18-year-old college student named
Hello, Pat. How are you, baby?
I'm good.
I appreciate all 7 of you coming in here. I'm just super proud that Mark Wayne Mullen has become the Secretary of the Department of Defense.
And is he a good guy?
Yes,
You like him? Yeah.
I do. It doesn't mean
Good.
he won't make mistakes. It doesn't mean he's not human.
No, they all do, but as long as their heart's in the right place, I think they eventually get to where, it is good.
I agree. And go ahead and tell everyone you're Canadian.
I'm Canadian, but I also am old school, and I know that Canada, we do rely on the United States. And we've always had such a wonderful relationship with them through the years. But this political crap that's been going on for the past couple years it's worrisome. It is.
70 years. It's gone on for 70 years. Tariffs, fighting over borders, who owns New York. I mean, who owns Niagara Falls? It's one thing after another. It's nothing new. But go ahead and don't have to pinky swear you're a real Canadian and you're okay.
I'm a real Canadian. First generation. Both my parents were from England. But we were all of us brought up in Canada.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh my gosh. Now we have 6 people in here to congratulate Mark Wayne Mullins for being our Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, unless it gets totally bankrupted, but we will never know until they make the decision.
Named Sheridan Gorman was shot and killed while she was walking in a park. She was just walking into the park, didn't do anything. The illegal alien monster charged with Sheridan's brutal murder had come illegally from Venezuela and been released into our country by Sleepy Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country. And I don't say that because I think he's fine. He's okay. I don't like him, dislike him. I talk about job performance. That's all I care about, job performance. Worst president in history. And Obama wasn't far behind, by the way. But he was then arrested and released again by Democrat governor, a real slob of a governor, J.B. Pritzker, in the sanctuary city of Chicago, which we could make safe in 2 months, I would say. 2 months if we sent in the group, Tom, right? 2 months would be good. 3 months, very good. 4 or 5 months, it would be great. But they would never call because they don't want to do that. All they have to do is call and ask for a little help. The Democrats.
Are you eating this up, Pat? I do notice that a lot of people really follow American politics. Like they really get into
Not
it.
really.
Okay. Eek.
I'm trying to understand, but like you guys are way more political than we are up here. Like I could ask 10 people up here political questions and I'd say maybe 4 would have answers. I think in the States, like 8 of you guys would have answers out of 10.
Well, ask me a question. I can answer it. I promise I'll be right or try to be.
Okay, so the guy that's getting elected to the Secretary of Homeland Defense, is that correct?
Yeah, not Homeland Security. No. Basically, he'll be overseeing TSA, FEMA, and immigration.
Okay.
Department
immigration.
of Security. Yeah.
And was he the Oklahoma senator? Is
Yeah.
that who he was?
Yeah, he's a representative for a long time. And I can tell you right now, he's a damn good plumber and he was a great wrestler and an MMA fighter.
Okay. Well, okay.
He's got a really good resume, in my opinion. Because he's already making waves.
Okay, well that's good.
Congress do not care how much American blood they shed in their demented pursuit of open borders, from Sheridan Gorman to Jocelyn Nungary and Laken Riley. Their quest to flood our country with illegal aliens has left countless American victims in its wake. They never changed. They see what's happening. They never change. That's what they want. They want to get the votes. With sanctuary and sanctuary cities going at levels that they are, and we've ended a lot. We've done a lot. But for some reason, they love it. It's a sanctuary. You know, sanctuary cities are sanctuary for, it's really a sanctuary for criminals. With Secretary Mullen at DHS, we will continue our record-setting efforts to deport these illegal alien criminals from our country, and we are doing at record levels, despite a very unfair court system, a radicalized left court system, and others that I'm not too fond of also. And we'll protect innocent American lives. Every single illegal migrant who is a criminal record must be deported immediately. If they have a criminal record, you got to deport them. And there's a lot that came in under Biden. And Kamala, the great border czar, Kamala, who never went to the border, never called Border Patrol, never once called Border Patrol.
Shut up. We know. Get on with it. We know what everyone went through. This is insane. Come on. We know. Sorry, Pat. I get tired of hearing the same thing over and over.
No, that's okay. It's new to me, so I'm just taking it all in.
Oh, do you have a notebook and a pencil?
No, it'll go in my head, but I'll digest it for a few minutes and then it'll go right out the back door. I won't remember tomorrow.
Me either.
Can you
It's
imagine that,
too
Jim?
confusing.
She's the border czar. She never called Border Patrol. Explain that to me. He's the worst. She was as bad as he was. Going to give him IQ tests next week. Under the Trump administration, we've achieved unprecedented gains on public safety. Yesterday, we were in Memphis, Tennessee, to celebrate the steepest reduction in crime ever recorded. We've been there for about 5 months, and the numbers, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And thanks to our Memphis Safe Task, it's called Safe Task Force, alongside our efforts in Washington, D.C. And what we've done in Washington is amazing. We have Washington as a safe city now. It's been amazing. It's been, if you go back a year and a half, 2 years ago, Washington was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, let alone this country. And now we have a very safe city. And what they've done with all of the people working, many of the people standing right there, has been incredible. And now we're going to see all of our cities take a big step because of Mark Wayne. In 1 year, my administration, we've created the most secure border in the United States history and the largest drop in illegal immigration ever recorded, slashed the illegal fentanyl crossings on our border by 64%, and accomplished the largest decline in the murder rate in the history of our country, bringing it down to 1900. That's before my father was born. My father was born a little bit after that. He wouldn't be happy mentioning this because he never liked talking about age, but he lived to be a ripe old age. But that's before my father was born. Think of it, 1900, we have a record, 1900. Murders last year were at the lowest level in 125 years, and we're making America safe again. We're doing it at levels that everything we're doing, we're making great. The border is great. The military is great. We're having, by the way, a tremendous success, as you know, in Iran. We had one in Venezuela, and now we're having one in Iran. They have no Navy left. They have no Air Force left. They have no anti-aircraft equipment left, no radar left, no leaders left. The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly. You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal. And we'll see what happens. I want to thank Pete Hegseth. The job you're doing over there is really incredible. You and the general and all of the other generals and colonels and captains and majors and everybody else, right? It's a perfect, amazing thing. We make the best military equipment in the world. Now we're going to make it faster. We want to get it faster, but we make the best in the world. We're doing a job. So I'd like to ask Attorney General Bondi to come and do the honors of swearing in a man who's going to do a phenomenal job for our country. And
Oh, God, no, not her. She's been screwing everything up. But let's see. Fuck my life.
tell you, your family has to be very proud. You have to be very proud. Everybody wanted this job. I said, there's one man for this job, and I have no doubt he's going to be fantastic. Thank you, Pam. Come on over. Thank you.
You're fucking kidding me. She's got a ponytail? Your hair.
Do solemnly swear
My hair looks better than yours, and I haven't even washed it today.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith to allegiance and do the same.
and that I take this obligation freely,
Take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of
or
evasion,
purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Secretary.
Hey. Mark Wayne, SFU.
Thank you. I think that was the most nervous I've ever been. I don't, it just seems surreal being in the Oval Office and having the President of the United States speak so.
Pat, real quick, would you show up to confirm someone and have them swear in and you'd wear a ponytail?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write a letter. Okie doke. All right. I'm just so proud of our state that we
I
actually
would be too.
somebody from Oklahoma that's in the cabinet. And a lot of people want him to run for president.
Well, you never know what the future holds, right?
You never know. I mean, hell, me and OJ could do it.
Highly of me and then recognize my family and know my family by name. It's humbling and I never take it for granted, but I made this very clear that I don't care what color your state is. I don't care if you're red or you're blue. At the end of the day, my job is to be Secretary of Homeland and to protect everybody the same. And we will do that. I'll fight every single day. Today, I got the privilege of meeting so many of the employees at DHS. These employees have been there for 30 days without pay. And if you need anything to know their dedication to show up and still protect the homeland that you and I enjoy and the freedoms that we're experiencing, they're working with for free because of political politics. That's all I need to know. I told them, as you're fighting 365 days, understand I'll be fighting 365 days beside you. No one's going to outwork me, and I'm not going to let any of them outwork me. The president has entrusted me with this, and failure is not an option. And so thank you so much, Mr. President, for this opportunity. I won't let you down.
Thank you very much. I love that expression. No one's going to outwork me. That's a wrestler's expression, isn't it? Huh?
This is insane that he was actually sworn into the cabinet. I mean, we've had other Oklahomans that have been, I mean, hot, but this is crazy.
You must be very proud of your state.
Not really. No, not really. I'm just saying it's insane. But yeah, I mean, everyone's happy.
That's a good wrestler's expression. Yes, please.
President, will the Secretary's replacement in the Senate support the SAVE Act and the use of the talking filibuster to get it through?
Well, it's not the SAVE Act. It's not called this. It's called the Save America Act. There's a big difference because the SAVE Act, nobody knows what that means. Save America means Save America. And I can't speak for him, but I would imagine that Mark Wayne, I didn't even ask him the question because who wouldn't support it? Voter ID with a picture. You want citizenship, proof of citizenship. Ideally, you want to end mail-in ballots because there's tremendous corruption. Then we added a couple of things, Mark Wayne, like I don't think being a great athlete and having a family of great athletes, they have produced great athletes in this family, all-American wrestlers. They especially like wrestling, by the way. And what about baseball? Do you play baseball? Anything? They like wrestling. But I don't think that you would say that his family, and I don't know this for a fact, and I shouldn't say it because I could get myself. Does anybody in your family want men to play in women's sports? I don't think so, Jim, right? I don't think so. I don't think. How would they do? Would they do good wrestling you? They would be in trouble? He said, yes, they'd be in big trouble. It's so crazy. So that would be one. And then we have a few others that we call them the best of Trump. But if you look at transgender mutilization of children, we don't want that. It's the mutilization of children. We don't want that. So generally speaking, I think I can answer that Mark Wayne would be very much in favor of what I'm in favor of. Would you say that's right, Mark? I can't think of too many things. He might be worse. He might be worse than me. That's my look at his wife is saying. That's right. But so, yeah, he's going to be great. Yeah.
Do you believe the Secretary will run DHS any differently than Kristi Noem did? What do you hope to see as his priorities?
Well, we had a good run. Look, we created the strongest border with the help of that man right there. Tom is so incredible. He's going to be a big influence here too. There's nobody more professional, nobody better. There's nobody better as a human being.
I've always wondered why he didn't just give it to Tom Homan. Other people have tried, but for whatever reason, he doesn't want to be in the cabinet. He's obviously good at what he does. He's received, the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Obama. I mean, he's done some crazy things. So I just have never understood why he wouldn't take the position.
What happened to the last person?
Chrissy Noem?
Yeah, I guess whoever this guy's replacing.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Watch this for a second and I'll show you.
Okay.
He looks tough, but he's got a good heart, but not too good. Don't make it too good. But, we had Tom. We have the safest border we've ever had. We have a lot of assets, but a lot of things we can do, and we're going to do. We have to get criminals out of our country that were allowed in by Biden. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, do you support what appears to be emerging agreement coming out of the Senate to reopen DHS?
Well, I'm going to look at it, and we're going to take a good hard look at it. I want to support Republicans, and sometimes it's awfully hard to get votes when you have Democrats that don't want to have voter ID. They don't want to have proof of citizenship. They don't want to do anything about men playing in women's sports. That's one of the items we put on. And I did that just because it's so popular. They say that's at least an 80-20 issue. No, it's about a 99-1. I don't think it's, what do you think? But do you think it's 80-20? Who's closer, 80-20 or 99-1? Yeah, I think 100 is really so I support that, and I support common sense.
Would you be comfortable with a deal that involves separating ICE funding from the DHS funding package in order to reopen?
Okay, that is important, but we're not going to watch that right now. Pat had a question. She wanted to know why Christy Noem got totally demoted. Well, she spent $220 million on herself.
Christy Noem is out as Homeland Security Chief. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has new details about that shakeup.
I'm Christy Noem.
Sources say the breaking point for President Trump when it came to Homeland Security Secretary Christy Noem was this $220 million taxpayer-funded ad campaign featuring Noem galloping near Mount Rushmore. Senator John Kennedy pressed Noem about those ads during a hearing this week.
The president approved ahead of time you spending.
She did, and she lied and said that the president knew what she was doing, overseeing her budget, which is almost endless. And I mean, she's like in a sound studio. She had a budget for hair extensions. Yeah. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It really is. Yeah.
$220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it
Did the
correctly,
president
worked
know
with
you were gonna do
OMB.
this?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Overnight, the president saying, quote, "I spent less money than that to become president. I didn't know about it." The New York Post also reporting Trump was not happy with Noem's answer this week when she was asked about her relationship with her advisor, Corey Lewandowski.
At any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
President Trump praised Noem's work securing the southern border, but she came under fire for claiming that Alex Preddy and Renee Good, two Americans killed by federal agents in Minneapolis, were domestic terrorists. Trump now nominating Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to take over for Noem. He's a former mixed martial artist and business owner who's also a member of the Cherokee Nation. Mullin is already trying to bridge the gap, telling our Rachel Scott that Christy Noem is his friend.
She was tasked to do a very difficult job, and I think she has performed the best she can do.
Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, so that's why she's gone. I mean, she did one thing after another. Okay, let's get back to it.
working and all of that. That's a detail that they'll explain later. Please.
Integrity and DHS measures. Mr. President, since CISA falls under DHS, and given that many credible voices have raised concerns over its premature and possibly likely faulty 2020 election assessment, will you and Secretary Mullen implement CISA and at DHS to ensure full confidence in future elections, like in the upcoming?
About it. We'll talk about it. Pros and cons. Look, they used it to try and put me in prison, right? So I can't be thrilled with it. They use that very strongly, very illegally. The Democrats are thugs, and I don't want to say that. It'd be nice to everyone get along, but it's a different country than it was years ago. It was very dangerous the way they used it, and they weaponized government. They used that to weaponize government. So I'm not thrilled, but I'll also go along with two groups of people: the military, and I think the military likes it, right? And I'll go along with the senators. I'm fine. But I was a big victim of it. Yeah, please.
Are you going to send?
Well, he's a big boy. I mean, things have been done to him. That's politics. My son's liking it because he liked that big pay raise. I mean, he really liked it.
Well, the military deserves a pay raise.
Damn right they do. People bitching about them think good meals and things like that. What do you expect us to feed a soldier? You really think you're gonna give them ramen noodles and some stale white bread? They're not in jail. They're in the military.
Exactly.
Susan said she started out good and like so many went to her head. I want to know, is Corey still on staff? No, Corey was fired. Corey Lewandowski was fired with a quickness. When Senator John Kennedy called the president and said, "Did you approve all this?" And he's like, "Nope." And he made the call to Corey because he never trusted him in the first place. And then the next day, we had a new Secretary of Department of Homeland Security. No, that dude's done. He's back to being a lobbyist, which would be a very good job for you and me, Susan.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could see his.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff to do direct negotiations with the Iranians.
Yeah, well, we're in negotiations as it turned out. And now you've seen what I said yesterday was exactly correct. We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, JD. We have a number of people doing it. And the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal. And who wouldn't if you were there? Look.
He's always lining up. He's always saying Marco, then JD. I think he's trying to set Marco up to be the next president. I really do. And I have no problem with that because Marco, well, he's easy on the eyes and he does a good job. JD, I can't stand looking at. And like yesterday was his birthday. And I was like, damn it. And they're like, can you wish JD Vance a happy birthday? And I'm like, no, because that means nothing's done today. No.
Their Navy's gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their communications are gone. That's the biggest problem. It's very hard to communicate them between themselves. All of the anti-aircraft is gone. Most of their missiles are gone. We either shot them or they shot them and don't have them anymore. They're down to a trickle. They're pretty much everything they have is gone. I don't know. Can you name one thing that's not gone, or can you name one thing that's doing well? If you read the papers, you think we're tied. You think we're in a tough battle. We are roaming free over Tehran, the city, Tehran, as opposed to Iran. We're roaming free. We can do whatever we want. And as you know, today we were going to have the privilege of shooting down a very big electric generation plant, one of the biggest in the world. And one shot to the right location ends the plant, it collapses. And we held off based on the fact that we're negotiating. Yeah.
What was the turning point to make you want to pursue a ceasefire? A few days ago, you said you wanted to continue bombing Iran. Now you want to pursue peace talks. Was there something that happened?
The fact that they're talking to us and they're talking sense. And remember, it all starts with they cannot have a nuclear weapon. Just You know, I said yesterday, they said, what are the top 10? I said, well, number 1, 2, and 3 is they can't have a nuclear weapon. And they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And we're talking about that. And I don't want to say in advance, but they've agreed they will never have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that.
How do you ensure
Greg
they won't have a
Pavino,
nuclear
your
weapon?
former Border Patrol Chief, Greg Pavino, said his only regret is that he didn't catch more illegal aliens. What's your reaction to that?
Who said that?
That's your former Border Patrol Chief. He just retired.
Well, I mean, we captured a lot. You know, they were allowed into the country by Sleepy Joe and that group of incompetent people that were, he was the worst president ever, the group of incompetent people. To me, that's the biggest scar. You know, inflation, they caused the highest inflation we've ever had. We've already gotten rid of it. The biggest scar is what they did, the people that they allowed from prisons all over the world. They came from the Congo, from all over South America. Rough people, really tough people. So, no, I understand what he means. He's, you know, would have liked to have captured more. I'm not capturing so much as removing. You know, we're removing thousands of people, and many are self-deporting because we're going after them so powerfully that they're self-deporting. Tom, going back, I think that's one of the big unkept secrets. We have thousands and thousands of people, and they're self-deporting. They're going back to where they came from. But what we want really is the criminals. We're really focused on those criminals, getting them out. Yeah.
Message right now to Democrats and also to Americans that are stuck in airports is really devastating watching it online.
Ooh, look at Britt coming in hard. She said, in my opinion, it seems JD's wife has a big say in anything that happens. Not a fan of how she portrays herself. She has her nose up in the air. And she's pregnant again. So that normally guarantees someone to be president. What do you think, Pat?
Is that like a wives' tale or something?
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, if you bring someone on the campaign trail and, I mean, they have a baby bump, I mean, people are just like, oh, they're having a baby.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. I could see.
Because
Oh, by the way, in one of yesterday's shows, oh my gosh, we had 3 yesterday. Sherry came in and she said she's going to help me with CremCon. And again, I've told her it's really no big deal. She said, I really want that ICE agent to arrest Pat. And I'm like, it was a joke. For the only time it was a joke.
Democrats won't fund DHS.
What's devastating?
To Americans right now stuck in airports as we speak because Democrats won't.
Well,
fund
they just
DHS.
don't, they won't. Look, this is a deal that was done in the great big beautiful deal, which gave you the biggest tax cuts ever, including no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security for the seniors. Think of it, no tax on overtime, tax deductions when you buy a car, you take money, pay interest on the money, you deduct it. We've never had that for people buying cars. If it's an American car, only if it's an American car. But they are just they stick together, the Democrats. I tell you, I give them great credit for that. We have some that they're not good stickers. We have guys like Tom Massey in Congress, who's terrible. He's just terrible person. I call him Rand Paul Jr., but they don't vote. Rand Paul, I mean, rarely votes for stuff. Likes me, says I'm a great president. He said the other day, I'm a great president, one of the greatest presidents.
He acted like a bitch last week. He was like, I remember when you said, when he was talking to the new Secretary of Homeland, the Department of Homeland Security. So I'm not going to vote for you. And I'm like, are you on your period? What is wrong with people? Sparrow said, hello, not much interested in politics, but decided to watch anyway. Oh, listen, it's going to be fun either way.
But I said, do me a favor, vote for us and don't call me a great. I'd rather have the vote than the statement. But we have people that don't stick together, and those people hopefully will someday be gone. The thing I most respect about the Democrats, even on horrible policy, they stick together. What they do have, though, is horrible policy. transgender for everyone, open borders, men and women's sports. They have the worst policy that you can imagine. And so whether they stick together or not, I mean, they have just this terrible policy. We have great policy. Republicans have great policy. We have common sense policy, but it's great policy. That's our biggest advantage, is our policy is correct. Yeah, please.
President, are you encouraging our allies in the Gulf to be more involved in the Iran operation?
Say it.
Are you encouraging our allies in the Gulf to be more involved in the Iran operation?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but more NATO.
Yes, I get he's a president. Why is Mark Wayne not talking? Why is Trump always hogging the microphone and the camera? Damn it. I want to hear what Mark Wayne wants to do.
So, I think our Gulf allies have been pretty good, to be honest with you. UAE's been hit so hard. He got hit by 1,400 rockets, shot them all out of the air with our great Patriot missiles. Think of it. They shot 100 missiles at one of our aircraft carriers, the Abraham Lincoln, one of the biggest ships in the world, actually. And out of 101 missiles shot, every single one of them was knocked down in the sea. Think of that. Think of what that means. 101 missiles, highly sophisticated, very fast missiles shot. Out of 101, all 101 were shot down, and now, for the most part, lie at the bottom of the sea. It's pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. Our military is amazing, Pete. You know the attack I'm talking about recently? 101 shot. I said, wow. I saw that. You can see we have sort of pretty good equipment that we see. It's called the red line. Those red lines were thick, right? I said, that's a lot. And then we saw them one by one just get shot. And these guys that do the shooting, the coolest cucumbers ever. You know, most people, you don't have a lot of time. When a missile's going at 2,500 miles an hour, I don't care how far away it is, you don't have a lot of time. But I watched them sit down and think. Great students, MITs, a lot of MITs, a lot of guys like this. They're not as much into the muscle as they are this one right here. And amazing to watch them perform under great pressure, because they have a matter of seconds to do it. If they don't do it properly, it's a big problem, you know, because these were powerful. These were very powerful missiles coming. And so a lot of people choke. They don't choke. These guys don't choke. They're the best in the world. We have the best in the world. Yeah.
Mr. President, what would be your message today to the TSA agents who have been staying home in recent days amid this impact?
Well, some of them are needing money, you know, because the Democrats cut off their money. I blame the Democrats more than anything else. But some of them, you know, they didn't get paid because they're not funded by the Democrats. This is a Democrat problem. In fact, I actually said to the Senate, why would you say this is a Democrat problem? I think the polls are showing it's a Democrat problem. And they'll do anything actually to hurt our country so they can try and win the midterms. And if we ever went back to our old policies, we wouldn't have a country left.
They get a deal, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate, to fund all but enforcement operations of ICE, to get those TSA agents repaid and to open up the rest of the department. Would you sign that?
Well, I don't want to comment until I see the deal, but as you know, they're negotiating a deal. I guess they're getting fairly close, but I think any deal they make, I'm pretty much not happy with it. These guys came in, they wouldn't pay people. You know, they had a deal to pay. They had to break their deal. The Democrats broke the deal that we had. It was all done. Everything was fine. And then they just said, well, we're not going to pay anymore. And they hurt our country. And at a very difficult time, because, you know, we are at, as they would say, a war. They call it a war. I call it a military operation, a very successful one, like successful like nobody's ever seen before. Hey, Venezuela was equally as successful. That was a great thing. No, the Democrats had a deal. It was a done deal. And then they said, well, we're not going to pay.
Where is Kat? She loves this shit.
Okay, can you explain to me just quickly, because I know I don't know a lot. How come some people are not getting paid? I never
No,
the beginning of it.
we have two parties that fight all the time. And so what they do, if they don't get their way, they'll say, I'm going to shut down funding on this. And so people,
You there?
yeah, sorry. No, no, they will do that. They'll shut down the government and certain people don't get paid until someone makes a negotiation. I mean, that's what they do. And so like right now, TSA isn't being paid, but ICE is. And like Homeland Security is being paid. So that's the reason they're taking care of the airports. Then, you know, like we've had like, you know, what was like 6 months ago, I can't remember how many people weren't being paid. The military wasn't being paid. And I mean, somehow, I mean, like I messaged my son, Craig, he's in the Air Force and he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm not worried about it. He's like, Papa Pete's got us.
I just never heard of that before.
Yeah, I think it's one of the dirtiest things you can do to anyone. And I understand that people say, well, eventually they get paid. Well, if you have no money today, what's it matter in 3 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty bad to hit, you know, families that obviously they have kids, they have mortgages, they have rent, hydro, heat, they need food.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has a line of credit or a credit card to use.
Mm-mm.
You know, that just seems bad.
It's horrible.
And so a lot of people suffered over that and put our country in danger. You have another question? You haven't been here in a while.
Well, on Iran, can you give us any more sense of who exactly in Iran it is, either Woodcock, Bush, or others you're speaking with?
Yeah, we had, I hate to say this in front of these young people. They're not children. I spoke to most of them. They sound like adults to me, even though they are sort of children, right? They'll always be your children. But I hate to say it, but we killed all their leadership. And then they met to choose new leaders, and we killed all of them. And now we have a new group, and we can easily do that. But let's see how they turn out. We have really regime change. You know, this is a change in the regime because the leaders are all very different than the ones that we started off with that created all those problems. So this was, I think we can say, Jason, this is regime change, right?
What makes you trust them?
I don't trust anybody. I don't trust you. I mean, that's only because I know you. But if I didn't know you, I'd probably have more trust.
Good.
But I don't trust anyone. Why do you say that? Why do you say what makes you trust? Do you think I trust them? I don't trust them. Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people. No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related. And it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people. Because, you know, you don't know, because the leadership was killed, all gone. Khomeini, all gone, as the expression goes, the past supreme leader. And then the new supreme leader was racked up, at a minimum, racked up pretty good. And everyone else was gone.
Let me ask you something, Pat. How long can someone be prime minister in your country? Do they get 4 years, 8 years, 16 years, years?
Or I believe it's 4 years, the same as you guys. I
Well,
believe.
they get 4 at a time, but how many times can they run?
I think they can run more than twice in a row.
Oh,
I'm not sure, but I just remember Pierre Elliott Trudeau was in for a long time. That's all I remember. Like,
no, I'm just wondering, because like here we can have a president for 2 terms.
right. No, I'm sure we can have a prime minister for more than 2 in a row.
Okay. and we can have governors. I mean, Texas is different because I mean they can keep a governor for like they can serve longer. Anyway, I've just always said, you know, if these congressmen and senators can sit there on their dead asses all those years, shouldn't, and the Supreme Court can never be dismissed, then why can't the president keep running? And I don't mean this president. I don't mean the last president, just any president. It just kind of seems like the balance isn't there.
I would say if there's an election, why not let them keep running? If if they keep being voted in, isn't that what the people want?
Well, George Washington made it that way because he said that would become a king and a dictatorship.
Well, not if you have elections.
Well,
like a king isn't voted for. A king is that's passed down through hierarchy of bloodlines.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I mean, that's what George Washington said. He was like, you know, when you're the leader, then, you know, you need a new leader.
You don't always, like my philosophy is always, if it's not broke, why try and fix it?
Don't fix it. The only reason Roosevelt got reelected is because we were in war.
Right, right.
And then many of the people in the third tier are gone. But we're dealing with a group of people that I think turn out. And the present, the gift they made to us was very significant. And they said they were going to do it, and it happened. And they're the only ones that could have done it. Jennifer?
To the Strait of Hormuz and the flow of.
Yeah, it was related to the flow and to the strait. Yeah.
Are you negotiating on who's going to control the strait from now on?
No, we'll have control of anything we want. Look, if we can end this without more lives being down, without knocking out $10 billion electric plants that are brand new and the apple of their eye, I'd like to be able to do that, you know. But they can't have certain things. I mean, you know the things. I don't have to go over the list, but again, it starts with no nuclear weapons, and they've agreed to that. There won't be any nuclear weapons. They're not going to have, and they're not going to have enrichment, any of those things. But look, I hate to say that we're in a very good bargaining position, and I hate to say that they're defenseless because, you know, until that last missile is fired, they have little power. But we are in about the best bargaining position. We're way ahead of schedule. And again, they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no missile protection, and most of their missiles are gone. Most of their launches we've killed. You know, we've killed about 82% of their launches. So even if they had a missile, they can't launch it. We've been very fast. We have the greatest military in the world. Nobody even comes close. We have the best military equipment in the world. Go ahead.
On Saudi Arabia, there's been some reporting that you've been talking to the Crown Prince. Have you been focused on normalization between Saudi Arabia and Israel?
Oh, no, we have a great relationship with Saudi Arabia. What do you hear with Saudi Arabia?
Talking, and that he has been encouraging you to do certain things related to Iran. Can you share?
Well, he's a warrior. He does. Yeah, he's a warrior. He's fighting with us, by the way. Saudi Arabia has been excellent, and UAE, excellent. And I will tell you, Qatar, incredible. Qatar took a hit, a pretty bad hit. Qatar is very close. You know, they're essentially, you can walk right over the border. Qatar took a hit. They've been great. They've been very strong. Kuwait, they had a little mishap. They shot down 3 planes with our missiles. They happen to be our planes, but the pilots made it. Can you imagine the pilots making it? The pilots saw what was coming. And they said, those are patriots. We're not going to escape patriots. And they got out of there pretty quick, Pete, right? Pretty amazing that they got out. The 3 pilots lived. They're fine. In fact, they're flying today.
Accidentally fired the missile?
Yeah, the Kuwaitis made a mistake. They fired. They thought they were firing at the enemy. It was, as the expression goes, friendly fire. But the pilots are great. They're flying today. Pretty amazing when you think of it. Yeah.
President Trump, on a human level, how hopeful are you that this peace deal will work out? Like as a human, as
On what?
On a human level, not as the president of the United States, how hopeful are you that this peace deal will work out with Iran?
You're talking about to end it? Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country. They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle. It's not a close battle. They're totally defeated. We killed their Navy in, would you say 3 days, Pete? Gone. In fact, I was a little upset with Pete. I said, why didn't you save the ships? We could have used them, right? He said, it's more fun shooting them down. But the Navy was wiped out in a very rapid order. Pretty impressive for you guys, you champion wrestlers, right? When you hear this stuff. But if you read the news, you don't hear this. You read like, oh, they're doing wonderfully. They're doing terribly. They're wiped out militarily. They are dead. Yeah.
Is there a new sense of a timeline? Do you want to get something done before the midterms?
Well, we'd like to see President Putin and President Zelensky sit down and make a deal. I think they're getting close, but I've been saying that for a while. I've settled 8 wars. All of them should have been more difficult than this one. This should have been the easiest one. But these are two people that truly hate each other. You'll find out that hatred is not good for making deals. These are people that they don't like each other very much. Yeah.
I know you said there's a bunch of people from the administration who are negotiating with Iran. There's been reports that the vice president is leading those negotiations. Is that true?
Well, he's involved in them. JD is involved, and Marco's involved, and Jared Kushner's involved, very smart guy, and Steve Witkoff, smart guy, is involved. And I'm involved. Why? I'm going to be so big. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. I'm the president of the United States, Tom, and I'm not going to talk about it. It's beneath me to talk about saving millions of lives, because that's what you're talking about. You're talking about saving millions of lives. If Iran had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. And if I didn't end the horrible Barack Hussein Obama Iran nuclear deal in my first administration, they would have had a nuclear weapon 3 or 4 years ago. They would have used it. I would have never gotten the chance probably to be president. Who knows what it would have been so devastating. And if we didn't send those beautiful B-2 bombers, they took them off my desk. They were right there. I don't know why. But if we didn't have those beautiful, the B-2 hit, which was, so we obliterated.
As part of this negotiation as well. We negotiate with bombs. You have a choice as we loiter over the top of Tehran, as the president talked about your future. The president has made it clear that you will not have a nuclear weapon. The War Department agrees. Our job is to ensure that. And so we're keeping our hand on that throttle as long as hard as is necessary to ensure the interests of the United States of America are achieved on that battlefield. This is not Iraq and Afghanistan. This is not a president who's interested in vague end states. He's been very clear with us about what we need to accomplish, creating the conditions for them never to have a nuclear capability, and that's exactly what we're doing in historic fashion. Thank you, Mr. President.
Appreciate it. The only 2 people that were quite...
Well, that's interesting. Are you scared about Iran having nuclear weapons, Pat?
Well, I don't trust them, so I don't trust anybody. I feel like Trump there. I don't trust anybody. So I don't think they do, but you never know.
Well, I mean, actually, they do. They were buying them from Syria, and it turned out
that's what I was thinking, getting them from somewhere else.
I mean, and after the last administration, weapons were bought that we sent to Ukraine, sent to Syria, and then they're doing that chemical compound.
Shit. Yeah. The nuclear stuff scares me the most.
Yeah, and I think between you and me, Canada and America, I mean, we have a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I mean a lot. We got a lot of uranium, but other people cannot have them. No, no, no. No red Play-Doh for you.
Disappointed. I don't want to say this, but I have to. I said, Pete and General Raisin Kane, I think this thing's going to be settled very soon. Here they go. Oh, that's too bad. Pete didn't want it to be settled. It's these guys are doing a great job. That's a good attitude, though, Tom, right? They were not interested in settlement. They were interested in just winning this thing. Yeah, please.
Can you, just taking things locally, hopefully not doing international affairs for a second, do you support the construction of the Second Avenue subway in New York City and later administration?
Wow, that's really far out. You know, the Second Avenue subway is being under construction for, you're a young guy, is longer than you are old, okay? That's been under construction. I haven't heard about the Second Avenue subway in 20 years. What the hell kind of a question is that? I guess you got to get it finished. They spent trillions of dollars practically. No, they spent more money on that than on anything, I think, in the history of our city, in New York City. And it's been under construction for a long time. It's very sad, actually. The only thing maybe worse was Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, his train, I call it his train wreck because it's a wreck. That's been years. It's literally 30 times over budget. Nobody's ever said anything like it. And it doesn't go to San Francisco and Los Angeles like it was supposed to.
No, they get their fuel from the Bahamas. Oh, Boston's in. Hey, Boston, have you seen that show, Love and Death? It's a series on Netflix. Or have you seen Gaslit by My Husband? I'm going to have my husband watch it this weekend, and he's going to have to take notes.
They decided to cut it way short because there was no way they could finish it. But it's one of the worst. I've never seen anything like it. Other than the worst, the Federal Reserve building for almost $4 billion, little building that's going to cost a renovation for $4 billion, headed by our highly incompetent head of the Federal Reserve. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, would you be open, are you hoping to see the Senate pursue Reconciliation 2.0 to fund ICE and pass the Save America Act?
Well, we'll see about reconciliation. We're certainly talking about reconciliation, I think, Mark Wayne, right? Do you want to talk about that for a second? Now that he's working, we can get him to do this.
Thank you. Lindsey Graham, the chairman where the reconciliation will funnel through, he is committed to making sure we get reconciliation through. If that is in some form with funding ICE, possibly backfilling from the One Big Beautiful Bill, but also more importantly, the Save American Act. There's a framework that we can do through reconciliation, paying for it, put some of the policies that cost money in, because there's nothing more important than the Save American Act. I mean, that's what the American people want. There's 80% of the population say they want only Americans voting, citizens that are registered to vote, citizens that have done it the right way. And I believe that everybody wants an election integrity. So fortunately, Lindsey Graham has said through reconciliation, he's willing to put the framework out for that.
And
these people are so stupid. They can't make a decision. And they have the whole Library of Congress and tons of attorneys to make it for them. They just cannot shit or get off the pot. They waste so much of our time. I'm serious. I would prefer just not have a Congress at all.
Okay, I'm confused on one thing they said before I forget.
Okay.
So they're making it sound like even if you're not an American citizen, you're allowed to vote. Did I hear that wrong?
Right now, you can. And they're change that.
You mean I could go in and vote?
Oh, sure. There's states that will manually put you in. You can just say, "Oh yeah, I just got here."
Well, that seems highly ridiculous, doesn't it? So that is why everybody, excuse me, that isn't a Democrat is worried about when they open the borders and let all these people in. So they let them in so they could vote for the Democrats? Is that what I'm hearing?
I really don't know the posturing. I really don't know what anyone was thinking when we had absolutely no border security. No idea. But I mean, we had a lot of people that registered to vote, and I'm like, okay, my God, that's fine. I know where I vote. And in Oklahoma, you have to show your ID and they match it with your voter ballot. That's it. I mean, you can use anything. Anything.
And in this day and age, that doesn't seem very, what's the word, safe?
I wouldn't think so. I mean,
I wouldn't think so. Like I don't have any conspiracy theorists running around in my head. So I'm even fine if they said you have to fingerprint on your driver's license. Fine. Here's my fingerprint. I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm not a refugee. I'm not a convict running around loose. Take my fingerprint. I don't care. I live here. Like, I don't know. Some people, they just think they're too way out there with their conspiracy theories. Like they're watching too much TV. Come on.
Well, I mean, don't we all? I just know that in Oklahoma, I mean, anytime, we go to vote, we have to show our ID to match it with the ballot. Some people do it manually.
Well, I would hope you have to match up your ID.
Yeah, I can't go in there and say, hey, my name is Britt94. And they manually type you in and say, okay, go ahead and vote. Every vote counts. We count every vote. Why? What are you talking about? My name is not Britt94.
That's right. And you could have come from a different country the day before, and you could just be voting to put the country downhill. And then you go back to your country and they all go, oh, we voted against all the good stuff. Whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't know how people vote. I'm not in their mind. I mean, Poppy, she's in Georgia. We only have 11 states that don't require anyone to show ID. I know how to get it. Okay. I mean, I know that when I was born, I know what my last name was. I know what my last name is now. It's really not that difficult. And it never has been for me here. And it could be more complicated in other states. I don't know. But again, this is a crime channel. And I guess that is a crime if you want to know the truth.
Well, I think everybody should have to provide documentation to say that they're a citizen, or they shouldn't have any right to vote at all. Sorry, that's just how I feel. Put your dues in, pay your taxes that you pay through jobs and through this and that. You have to be a citizen that is working for your community. Those are the ones that should be voting. Or the older people that have done their thing. They've worked and, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't understand the rest. We came in legally, so that's who I vote for. Anybody who comes in legally, then go for it. Make a new home, do the best you can. Maybe your country was horrible for whatever reason. Don't bring that horribleness to the new country you're moving to. If yours was so great, go back home. If you're coming to a new country, learn the ways of the new country. I'm not saying forget about your culture, You can bring that in, but bring the good stuff in. Don't bring the horrible stuff in. Anyway, that's just a Canadian throwing her 2 cents.
No, I mean, everyone knows it. It's like, I mean, does anybody want someone to come in their house and say, listen, this is how you should do things? No.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't go to Canada and say, act like you're from Oklahoma. I wouldn't go to Utah and say, woohoo, go OU. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I can't think for everyone else.
I think that was said so beautifully, so concisely, so well, your father, that we should let him have the last word, and that was it. That was the last word. Did he do a good job? Are you impressed with your father?
Anybody in my life.
How about me? Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. No, you like your father better, okay? Come here. Look at this guy. Come here. This guy, don't wrestle him. We'll steal over here. All right. I want to thank the family, because without the family, he's not here. He's a different person. And that goes especially for Mom, who looks like she's about 22 years old. I don't know. I see these kids, but she looks very young. But it's a great couple. Congratulations to you both. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thanks. Come on in.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Well, my goodness. My goodness. I guess we're more divided than we even know. But that's pretty okay with me, because in my opinion, either way, everything comes out in the wash,
Yeah. Well, I just hope US and Canada can become great friends again. So.
That's going to be up to Marco. Marco's made a hell of a mess, but that'll be okay. I promise. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching this with me. I'm super excited. Markwayne Mullin is now the Secretary of Homeland Security, and he will make mistakes. They will be politicized. They will be flashed in your face all the time. You will get sound bites left and right saying, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. We never get the backstory, but that is our media. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm going to finish cleaning this refrigerator. I love you guys. Love you, Pat.
Thanks, Brooks. Bye-bye. Bye, Pat.